Hey there guys, Gina Rivera here. I have been watching some YouTube videos out there and reading the comments, and I see there's a lot of confusion. I have been reading a lot of comments, getting a lot of emails and DMs, and a lot of you guys are getting confused as to what the GinaCurl is. And I want to explain what sets the GinaCurl apart from the Wave Nouveau, Carefree Curl, the original GinaCurl, all the other curls that are out there on the market. It's so different. So I'm going to tell you some of the differences between the GinaCurl and the GinaCurl, Wave Nouveau, Carefree Curl, Leisure Curl, the other curls that are on the market today. So the GinaCurl is a one-step chemical process. What I mean by that is we apply the curl reformer, and that opens the cuticle, straightens the hair, and that's the last time we apply the curl reformer to the hair. With the GinaCurls and other curls out there on the market, they apply their curl reformer first to open up that cuticle, to straighten the hair, and then they wind the hair on the perm rods and they apply more chemical to the perm rod. With the GinaCurl, we don't apply any chemical to the perm rod, which makes it amazing when you come back for your retouch. So now when you come back for your retouch, because we don't apply the chemical to the perm rod, the ends of your hair that were previously done will not become overprocessed. So that hair will not be compromised over and over and over again. Now, if we want to refreshen those ends, maybe your third retouch, we can, because with our curl reformer, we can literally address each level of porosity in the hair shaft. So let me back it up. When we apply the curl reformer, we could literally apply if you have virgin hair and you have color, and maybe if you have bleach. So we could apply a curl reformer for virgin hair. We could have another bowl for the normal hair and another bowl for the bleached hair. And we can do this because our curl reformer takes a little bit longer to process. We can take up to an hour and a half to apply our curl reformer. So that's great news because we could really, literally customize each client. So if you come in and you have heat damage, we could apply a protection for that heat damaged hair. So what I'm saying is the GinaCurl does take longer. Our process takes between 6 to 8 hours, where the other GinaCurls take 3 hours. We can take our time addressing each porosity level. We could take our time applying the chemical. The chemical is never, ever applied to the scalp. And also, we don't need gloves to apply. So it's so mild, and we could really, like I said, address each porosity level in the hair. Another difference is that we use heat to reform that curl into the hair, where the others use another chemical to reform that curl. Okay, so remember, we're using a curl reformer, we're opening up the cuticle, we're straightening the hair, and then we go in, rinse or whatever, then we go in with our rod set, but we never apply chemical, where the others apply chemical again to the perm rod. Another difference is with the GinaCurl, you can come right out of the shower and just apply a leave-in conditioner, a curl cream, and you have curl. I've heard so many stories that with the GinaCurl, you have to wait 2, 3, 4 days for that curl to really show up and be defined and look its best. Well, by the 3rd, 4th day, I'm telling my clients to wash their hair again, because what better conditioner than water? I mean, that's our best moisture for our hair. You know, years ago, my textured clients were afraid to shampoo their hair. Oh my God. I used to have clients that would come to me and I'd say, when did you shampoo your hair last? Oh, when I got my relaxer 6 weeks ago. I was like, ah. So with the GinaCurl, I encourage my clients to shampoo their hair twice a week. You can wet your hair every night if you want. If you're working out, get rid of that salt. Really rinse that sweat out of your hair and your scalp. And you're gonna see those curls bounce right back. God, another difference is that you're going to have curls. The hair is going to look natural. The hair is going to swell up and look like natural curls, whereas it's not going to look stringy, wet. You don't need to add a lot of activators and moisturizers and oils and grease and all that to get that curl defined. We don't want that look, right? That was back in the good old days. But now, you know, this is, I don't even want to compare it to the other curls out there, guys. We absolutely don't recommend direct heat. So keep that in mind. You know, that will alter the curl. And also when you come back for your retouch, we may not be able to get that curl back in the hair. So no direct heat with a blow dryer or a flat iron. But going back to the GinaCurl itself, it is amazing, guys. It still amazes me every time we finish a client and she walks out the door with those bouncy curls. So for the most part, a lot of people that are, you know, making comments about the GinaCurl and saying it's just another Jerry curl and she's just renaming it and she's just reformulated it. Let me tell you, it took me years to come up with this. The technique, I came up with pretty quick, I gotta say. But the chemical, I've used so many different products till now I'm finally customized my own. It took 1.5 years for us to get the perfect customized curl reformer for my clients. And I am so proud that it's mine and you're not going to find it anywhere else. And if there's anyone online saying that you can do this at home, believe me, if you can do this at home, well, you're not going to be able to, okay? Because it's so intense and it's so customizing for each client. And you really have to know what was in the hair. There's just so many components to the GinaCurl. It's not simple. And that's why it's a 6-week course. So for my students that, you know, took my class, it's a 6-week course. It's not just a video that I sent out to them, okay? 6 weeks, and we have ongoing education. So my stylists out there, they are educated and they know how to perform this GinaCurl, but you're not going to be able to do this at home. Believe me, guys, you will, first of all, get breakage. The hair is going to break right off. I mean, if you put this on the scalp 2 months down the road, you could get baldness, okay? So please be very careful. Don't listen to people out there. Oh, this is just another Jerry curl. Oh, I don't know why she's charging so much. You know, this process takes 6 to 8 hours. So during that time, you know how many haircut and blow dries and colors and relaxers I can do? And I'm just working on one client during that time. So if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate. Write me at Gina@hairstalent.com and just, you know, send in your questions and I'll be happy to answer. And if anyone wants to bring me on their YouTube channel and interview me or talk about the GinaCurl, I am willing to share my knowledge with you guys because this is something that is, it's like the next best thing, believe me. And that's it, I guess. I hope that I answered all your questions. And again, if you have any other questions, please email us. Feel free to email us and we'll get back to you. Okay, guys, thanks so much for listening and have a great day. Hey there, guys. So today we're going to talk about highlights. And we went over this during the course, but I just want to remind you guys, highlights are really tricky. Okay, so we don't recommend doing the GinaCurl on highlighted hair. Now, highlighted hair, as we know, is weaved in. So you have some strands that are highlighted and bleached or colored, and some strands that are not, and they're virgin. You're going to go in and you're going to want to use normal to protect the highlighted hair. So what ends up happening is you're going to protect the bleach and the highlighted hair. And so the hair that's not highlighted is not going to take the process at all because the formula is going to be too weak. So we don't recommend it at all. And I make it very clear to my clients, email or people write to me, I always say we don't recommend it on highlighted hair. Now what ends up happening, sometimes they want the GinaCurl so bad that they're not very truthful. So you really, really, really have to ask a lot of questions during the online consultation, especially when the client comes in the day of their service. So when you look at their hair, they'll say they have no highlights underneath, but they're thinking because they covered their highlights with color, that they disappeared. Okay, the bleached strands are still there. So that means that the highlighted hair now is double processed. So just please make sure that you ask your questions. You make sure that you're getting a truthful answer. Let them know how serious this is, that you really need to know everything about their hair history. I've had clients where I've gone in and we're applying the curl reformer at the nape. And now I see the two tones, okay, where the highlighted strands now are coming up like that orange, yellow brightness color. And I'll say, I thought you said you didn't have highlights. And they'll say, oh, well, yeah, about 3 months ago. Oh, I figured because I covered it with color, it wouldn't have been a problem. Now, I just asked her all those questions before we got started, and now we get the truthful answer. So you have to bring them to the sink, rinse it all off. Now the client's there. So now you have to address the highlighted strands, which is going to be very difficult. You don't want to get to that point. So you have to make sure that you tell the client that if you don't know what's underneath that hair, the hair can break and melt off in your hands while you're doing this process. So when you tell them that, they will give you the honest truth about what's in their hair. Just make sure that you keep asking the questions. Do you have a smoothing treatment? Do you have a Tex-Lax? Do you have a relaxer? Some clients think that 2 months ago, 3 months ago, oh, poof, it's gone. It's still on that hair shaft. I know, but they want the GinaCurl so bad. So just be really careful, okay, guys? You don't want to get caught up with that, because then you're going to lose a full day's worth of work for what? So ask your questions. Don't be ashamed to keep asking those questions. Okay? All right. And that's it for highlights.